When Russia annexed Ukraine's Crimea in 2014, Putin settled around 100,000 ethnic Russians there, completed the Kerch Bridge in 2018 to connect Russia with Crimea, and placed the peninsula under the protection of the Black Sea Fleet and Russian army. Until Putin's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, the annexation appeared secure. Today, however, Fortress Crimea is under siege and on the verge of collapse, said British military expert Robin Horsfall. According to Horsfall, Ukraine wisely avoided costly ground or naval assaults and instead focused its early operations on systematically degrading Russian air defenses. Ukrainian drone and missile technology has methodically dismantled Russia's layered air defense network, destroying radar systems, missile launchers, and command centers. Meanwhile, Ukrainian naval drones have sunk one-third of the Russian Black Sea Fleet, forcing the remainder to flee Sevastopol and relocate to Novorossiysk on the Russian mainland. Many of the destroyed ships were landing craft vital for transporting supplies and military equipment by sea, the expert explained. Horsfall noted that this year significant gaps have appeared in Crimea's air defenses, allowing Ukraine to gain air superiority and begin targeting the peninsula's energy infrastructure. First, a fuel and ammunition train on the Melitopol-Crimea railway, which passes through Zaporizhia, was destroyed. The wrecked train could not be removed because the approaches were under constant drone surveillance and artillery fire. Any recovery equipment was struck immediately. That railway was one of 5 key supply routes into Crimea. The second was a road entering from the north, rendered unusable by a single HIMARS strike on a bridge. The third route by sea had already been severed, as Sevastopol's port became too dangerous for docking. The Kerch Bridge was so badly damaged that only vehicles under 5 tons could cross, while the ferry connection between Crimea and Russia was halted after the ferries were sunk. Air transport is impossible and even in optimal conditions cannot provide sufficient supplies for a large military force, he said. Once Ukraine degraded Russia's air defenses and severed its logistics routes, it began targeting the peninsula's energy infrastructure, Horsfall continued. Crimea lacks refining facilities and relies entirely on imported energy, mainly gasoline and diesel. This month, Ukrainian drones destroyed the Gvardeyskoye fuel depot and distribution hub, which serves as the central supply point for both civilian and military needs across Crimea. Shortly after, the Feodosia Oil Terminal, the only remaining seaborne route for energy supplies to the peninsula, was also struck and rendered inoperable. The consequences were immediate, Horsfall added. Although Crimea had endured difficulties over the past 3 years, Ukrainian strikes had previously been limited to military objectives. The civilian population, mostly relocated ethnic Russians, had accepted the situation as merely challenging. Now, however, it is no longer just difficult, it is becoming unbearable, and conditions are deteriorating with each passing day.